And we need better candles.
All right, there it goes.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, Carla. We're going to go to page 124.
You can sit down there.
Please read with me. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. And on page 126, I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work and to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created, and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illuminate all of us, and to bring that vision to life. And on page 145, please join me. At the bottom of the page, teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. And please rise for the Baruch.
Lie la 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 lie. Lie la 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 lie. Lie la 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 lie lie. Lie la 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 lie. Lie la 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 lie lie. Lie la 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai mevorach, mevorach, le'olam va'ed.
And on page 148, Ma'ariv Aravim, please join me in Hebrew. I will read slowly. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav. Asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim. B'chochma poteach sha'arim uvitvuna mashanei itim umachalif et hazmanim umasader et hachochavim b'mishratehem barakia kirtzono borei yom b'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or umavir yom umevi layla umavdil ben yom uvein layla Adonai tzavaot shemo el chai v'chayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. And on page 150, Avad Olam.
You want me to play that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Havta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishtachatim Otanu limadeta Al kain Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbeinu Kumenu nasiach bechukecha V'nismach v'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu V'orech yameinu Uvahem negei omam v'alayla Negei omam v'alayla V'yahav al tasir V'yahavatcha al tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Ohev amo Yisrael
Please join me in the Shema on page 152.
Shema Yisrael
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem
Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem
Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. And the V'ahavta on the next page. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom ha'levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlektecha v'derech uv'shofecha uv'kumecha ukshartam liot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha uktavtam al mizazot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'lechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. And on page 157, standing on the shore, let's read that together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe that we were taught what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt, and there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Okay, we're gonna do Malchuta right now. Here we go. Malchutacha and Malchutacha ra'uvanecha. Okay, ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'elianu v'yamiru, Ze'elianu v'yamiru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh.
We're turning to the next page for Hashkivenu. It's one of my favorite prayers, and it's one that I sing to myself before I go to sleep every night. Anyway, it's a favorite.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Please, please rise for the tefillah. Adonai safatai tiftach ufi yagita hila.
164.
Thank you, Gordon. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Bechonei HaKol Bezocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot Umevi Geula Lifnei Be'ahem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Yezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atarav Lo Shia Mechayei Chayim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol Barachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umechayei Emunato Lishenei Apar Micha Mocha Balkum V'rot Umido Melech Melech Memid Umechayei Umatzmiach Yeshua B'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom B'haluch hasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon L'chol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon L'chol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Carla is going to read a prayer for us. And the translation she likes, it's on page 180 in slightly different wording, but the same prayer.
Okay. Guard my tongue from evil. O Lord, guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking guile. Help me to ignore those who speak ill of me and to forgive those who offend against me. Open my heart to your Torah, that I may eagerly do your will. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be favor before you, my rock and my redeemer. O you who ordains harmony in the universe, grant peace to us, to Israel, and to all of mankind. Amen.
Thank you, Carla. This is the time in the service that we think of those in need of prayers for healing, mind, body, soul. I'm going to find our healing list. Lynn Feingold, Ilana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camasia, Joshua Hyman, Dylan Bonnick, Diane Butler, Elsa Lach, Jesse Friedman, Scott Stern, Tom Sabo, Yolanda Galaz, Beverly Eigner, Carl Rice, Michelle Kosen, Ed Eston, Roger Widman, and Marjorie Gilberg. Does anybody have? Thank you. Misha Bayrock is on page 371, or it's one of the places in the book.
Misha Bayrock bracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
The portion for this week is Kadoshim, and we are blessed to have Carla doing the drosh for us tonight. So I'm going to give the floor to Carla.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom. Tonight I will talk about a few of the teachings in Leviticus 19:1 through 20, named Kedoshim, Hebrew for holy ones. It focuses on the laws of holiness. It repeats the 10 Commandments, the Jewish principles that are our guide to ethical practices. It also goes into some length about the practices for sexual transgressions. I won't be focusing on that tonight. The term Kedoshim is also used to refer to the 6 million Jews murdered in the Holocaust, referred to as Kiddush Hashem, meaning conduct reflecting well on the Jewish people. I feel this again points out that we want to have ethical behavior. So not to forget where we came from, but also most importantly, to remember to be ethical in our own practices, working socially to promote change and progress. I particularly could relate to a few Jewish medieval interpretations of Maimonides. Looking at ethical behaviors, he discussed when someone wrongs you, you should not despise them, but instead question them. If they ask for forgiveness, you must do so. Not holding, not harboring hate, and allowing this to settle in your heart, but instead letting go and allowing this person to settle the affair with God. This resonated with me in terms of my own challenges with forgiveness. A rabbi once told me that perhaps forgiveness will be my life's work. Interesting that this is what I was asked to talk about tonight. This is about looking inward in addition to your outward behaviors and what others can see. It is also forbidden to embarrass a fellow Jew, and I thought that was interesting. I wanted to look into that more, but I didn't have time. Is it okay to embarrass somebody that's not Jewish? And there are stronger rules even about embarrassing a fellow Jew in public. I thought about that challenge, and I'd like you to consider that the next time you say or think about saying, just kidding, to someone. Oftentimes they say when you say just kidding or but, it negates what you've said prior. So I thought that was an interesting point. The third point was not to hold a grudge. Rise above your feelings and never bring it to mind, because if you do, it doesn't leave you and it leaves you open to seek revenge. Again saying, this is the work needing to be done between that person and God. There are so many lessons in this portion, and I hope this leaves you with some curiosity and more to think about. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Carla. Gordon, my brother Elenu. He's coming. The Elenu is on page 586.
Aleinu l'shab. Oh, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ha'adon ha'kol. La'teit gedula liotzeher breshit. Shelo asanu kegoye haratzot. Velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama. Shelo samchalkenu kahem. Vigora leinu kachol hamonam. V'anachnu korim. Umishtakavim umodim. Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Member who's going to be doing announcements?
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Larry Kamer on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Welcome. I see we have a few board members in the wings and among us tonight. A couple of quick announcements. There's Sunday, there's no religious school. It is Mother's Day. Please make sure to mark your calendars for the annual CBS member meeting in person at CBS. That's this Monday night, May 9th, 7 o'clock. Very important that we have a quorum, so please do your best to come. Saturday the 14th, join Rabbi Goldstein for Torah study at 10:30 a.m. and in the evening at 5, our 5th through 7th graders and their parents will be gathering for Moving Traditions here at CBS with other nearby congregations. Religious school and Shorashim will both resume on Sunday, May 15th. Soul Sisters will be reviewing, oh, here's a good one, Apeirogon? Do you know this book? By Colin McCann. That's not Hebrew, so I can't. Oh, I see. By Colin McCann, May 16th, with Martha Pascan at 4 o'clock. That's via Zoom. Also, please mark your calendar for May 20th, Lag BaOmer Shabbat with Bonfire Oneg. You can RSVP online via the calendar on the website at any time. If you have not bought your tickets for Comedy Night, please be sure to do so. They are selling quickly. It's a very important part of our fundraising program. You may also pre-purchase wine, beer, or sparkling water when you purchase tickets. See our two comics for the night, Jeff Applebaum and Rachel Berman. If you have any questions or want assistance purchasing tickets, contact Maxine Maluso. And on behalf of the board and all of us at CBS, we send warm wishes to everyone celebrating Mother's Day. Also, warm wishes for this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Candace Hacker, Marissa Stein, Mike Rendo, sorry if I mispronounced. Riendo, thank you. Lisa Lombardi and Nathan Edwards. Happy anniversary to Donna and John Bonnick. That would be number 42. Congratulations. And on a point of personal privilege, I want to welcome my sister, Lisa Kamer, who's here from Boston visiting us. And she and Devereaux and I are going to be celebrating our granddaughter's first birthday tomorrow. So, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. This is the time in our service that we remember people who have died in the past year. I'm going to read from our one-year Kaddish list. Bonnie Kapoloff Mamie, Dr. Ian Miller, Jimmy Rabb, Sandra Somek, Michael Gordon, Larry Elson, Arnold Trumbler, Erica Cornelison, Gladys Shubin, Richard Magano, Clark Smith, Stephanie Rabb Axner, David Ernesto Kaplan, Pat Pate, Annette Goldberg, Maggie Sherman, Sandra Benko Fichtenberg, Nicholas Huff, George Montano, Dean Wilson, and Norman Charney. And the yurtzeit list, people who've died at this time in years past. Marilyn Armstrong, Henrietta Foreman, Geraldine A. Cohen, Martha Kahn, Leona Greendorfer, Fred Rosenthal, Frank Pavolio, Helen Spitz. Does anybody have anybody they would like to remember? Okay, I don't see anybody. Please rise and turn to page 598 and join me in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yerute, Lik Malchute, Bechaychon, Uvyamechon, Israel, Bagala, Uvizman, Karib, Imru, Amen. Yehesh, Ma, Rabba, Barak, Leolam, Olmeil, Maya, Viet Barak, Vishtabak, Vitmar, Vitram, Nase, Vitadar, Vitalal, Bilal, Shemeder, Kudusha, Barichu, Layala, Minkol, Birkata, Shirata, Tushbekata, Benechemeta, Damiran, Bialma, Bimru, Amen. Yehe, Shlama, Rabba, Min Shemaya, Bechayin, Aleinu, Bekol Yisrael, Bimru, Amen. Osei Shalom, Bimramav, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu, Beakol Yisrael, Bimru, Amen. May their memories be for a blessing.
You can be seated.
And it's now time for the Kiddush and Motzi.
Okay.
So, let's see. I would like to, 124. Gordon, can we do the long version of the, we haven't done it, I don't want to forget it.
Yeah,
And
we actually did it
I'm
last
trying to
week.
do things that we haven't done in so long that I'm about to forget them. So, okay.
Okay. I guess you can still hear me. I'm not hearing you either. So. Okay, sure. What page are we on?
We are on page 123.
Okay. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'yahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaro l'maaseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikraye kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta, yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, chinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen.
Oh no, L'chaim.
Yes.
I was ahead of myself. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. I don't know.
I don't know.
Roberta would know, or she was back there. You can go check. If there's food there, there's an one. If there's not, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam.
Shabbat Shalom.
There is an
There is an oneg, so please join us.
Oh, thank you. And a special thanks to Nadia for leading services and to Shane for joining us tonight with the music. It was great. Thank you.
And Carla for doing the
Carla,
drash.
right. And Grant for doing the sound. Thanks for filling in, though. Of course. There's always a bug, right? Yeah. There's always something. Oh, did